All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Sarabjit Kaur. The headlines. International Yoga Day being celebrated across the globe today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says yoga has given us hope that we can fight COVID-19. Prime Minister asserts that yoga will continue to play its preventive as well as positive role in healthcare of masses. Next phase of nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive begins today, centered to provide free vaccines to all above 18 years of age. Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Karnataka to further relax COVID-19 restrictions from today. Employees Provident Fund Organization adds around 12.76 lakh net subscribers during April this year. 3 terrorists, including a top Lashkar-e-Toiba commander, killed in an encounter with security forces in Sopore area of Jammu and Kashmir. Iran announces an emergency shutdown of its sole nuclear power plant. India bowled out for 217 in first innings in World Test Championship. New Zealand to resume their innings at the overnight score of 101-2 today. And Italy beats Wales 1-0 while Switzerland defeat Turkey 3-1 in Euro Cup football. As the nation gears up for free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years from today, we advise our listeners to get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow the 4 simple steps. Wear face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene and get vaccinated. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 239 78046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that yoga remains a ray of hope as the whole world fights the COVID pandemic. Addressing people on the occasion of 7th International Day of Yoga this morning, Mr. Modi said even though major public events have not been organized for the past 2 years due to the pandemic, enthusiasm about Yoga Day has not diminished. He said yoga has given us hope that we can fight COVID-19.
आप सभी को 7वें अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। आज जब पूरा विश्व कोरोना महामारी का मुकाबला कर रहा है तो योग उम्मीद की एक किरण भी बना हुआ है। 2 वर्ष से दुनिया भर के देशों में और भारत में भले ही बड़ा सार्वजनिक कार्यक्रम आयोजित नहीं हुआ हो, लेकिन योग दिवस के प्रति उत्साह जरा भी कम नहीं हुआ है। कोरोना के बावजूद इस बार की योग दिवस की थीम योगा फॉर वेलनेस ने करोड़ों लोगों में योग के प्रति उत्साह को और भी बढ़ाया है।
Mr. Modi said nobody was mentally prepared to deal with coronavirus, but yoga has become a medium of self-confidence. He stated that whenever sages of India spoke about health, they not only meant physical health but also mental health.
आज योग के इस पहलू पर दुनिया भर में के विशेषज्ञ अनेक प्रकार के साइंटिफिक रिसर्च भी कर रहे हैं, उस पर काम कर रहे हैं। साथियों, कोरोना काल में योग से हमारे शरीर को होने वाले फायदों पर, हमारी इम्यूनिटी पर पड़ने वाले सकारात्मक प्रभावों पर कई स्टडीज हो रही है। आजकल हम देखते हैं कई स्कूलों में ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की शुरुआत में 10-15 मिनट बच्चों को योग प्राणायाम कराया जा रहा है। ये कोरोना से मुकाबले के लिए भी बच्चों की शारीरिक रूप में तैयारी कर रहा है।
The Prime Minister said yoga has given a way for holistic health and a happier way of life. He exuded confidence that yoga will continue playing its preventive as well as positive role in healthcare of masses.
The mantra of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, which India has followed since ages, is now finding global acceptance. we all are praying for each other's well-being. If there are threats to humanity, yoga often gives us a way of holistic health. Yoga also gives us a happier way of life. I'm sure yoga will continue playing its preventive as well as positive role in healthcare of masses.
Mr. Modi said even medical science today lays emphasis on the healing process besides medical treatment. He added that yoga helps in healing process. He pointed out that doctors have used yoga as armor to treat patients.
अदृश्य वायरस ने दुनिया में जब दस्तक दी थी तब कोई भी देश साधनों से, सामर्थ्य से और मानसिक अवस्था से इसके लिए तैयार नहीं था. हम सभी ने देखा है कि ऐसे कठिन समय में योग आत्मबल का एक बड़ा माध्यम बना. योग ने लोगों में ये भरोसा बढ़ाया कि हम इस बीमारी से लड़ सकते हैं. मैं जब फ्रंटलाइन वॉरियर्स से, डॉक्टर्स से बात करता हूं तो मुझे बताते हैं कि कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में उन्होंने योग को भी अपना सुरक्षा कवच बनाया. डॉक्टरों ने योग से खुद को भी मजबूत किया और अपने मरीजों को जल्दी स्वस्थ करने में इसका उपयोग भी किया.
He said that for most of the countries, Yoga Day is not an age-old cultural festival, and yet people's enthusiasm and love for Yoga Day has increased. Mr. Modi said when India proposed International Day of Yoga in the United Nations, the spirit behind it was to make yoga accessible to the whole world.
जब भारत ने यूनाइटेड नेशंस में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस का प्रस्ताव रखा था तो उसके पीछे यही भावना थी कि योग विज्ञान पूरे विश्व के लिए सुलभ हो. आज इस दिशा में भारत ने यूनाइटेड नेशंस WHO के साथ मिलकर एक और महत्वपूर्ण कदम उठाया है. अब विश्व को एम योगा ऐप की शक्ति मिलने जा रही है. इस ऐप में कॉमन योगा प्रोटोकॉल के आधार पर योग प्रशिक्षण के कई वीडियोस दुनिया की अलग अलग भाषाओं में उपलब्ध होंगे. ये आधुनिक टेक्नोलॉजी और प्राचीन विज्ञान के फ्यूजन का भी एक बेहतरीन उदाहरण है. मुझे पूरा विश्वास है एम योगा ऐप योग का विस्तार दुनिया भर में करने और वन वर्ल्ड वन हेल्थ के प्रयासों को सफल बनाने में बड़ी भूमिका निभाएगा.
In the occasion, Minister of State for Ayush, Kiren Rijiju said, from the very first observance itself, International Day of Yoga has received widespread acceptance. He said Ayush Ministry continues to play a pivotal role to raise the profile of yoga. The ministry has launched a lot of digital tools and free yoga resources for spread of yoga. He added that collaborations with private sector bodies are also being done to increase the spread of yoga. The main theme of International Day of Yoga 2021 is Yoga for Wellness. Yoga Day is being observed in about 190 countries globally. Lakhs of yoga lovers committed themselves to Yoga Day and performed yoga from the safety of their own homes. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted the people on the occasion of International Day of Yoga. In his message, the President said the vision of India's ancient seers of bringing mind-body together to achieve holistic health and happiness has benefited millions over millennia. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar has greeted the people on the occasion of International Day of Yoga. He asked people to do yoga and stay healthy. Several union ministers performed yoga this morning. Culture and Tourism Minister Prahlad Singh Patel performed yoga at Red Fort. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan performed yoga at a park in the national capital. Besides, Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan and MOS Finance Anurag Thakur also did yoga to mark the occasion.
In Uttar Pradesh, International Yoga Day is being celebrated across the state. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has already appealed to the citizens of the state to celebrate the Yoga Day at home, saying that the move will help fight the COVID-19 pandemic. Pics and videos of the yoga sessions will be posted on social media platforms. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, large gatherings are prohibited in the state, so people are celebrating the day by doing yoga at home.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu performed yoga in Delhi with his wife to mark the International Day of Yoga. In his message, Mr. Naidu appealed to people to make yoga a part of daily life.
In Chhattisgarh, more than 1 million people are doing yoga practice virtually today on the occasion of International Yoga Day. The state government's Social Welfare Department and Chhattisgarh Yoga Commission have jointly organized a virtual yoga marathon. The event started today at 6:45 a.m. and will continue for 24 hours. More details on this from our Raipur correspondent.
Chhattisgarh Governor Anusuya Uike, Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, members of the State Cabinet, public representatives and citizens are participating in this virtual yoga exercise program. People practicing yoga will share their video clips on the social media link issued by the Social Welfare Department of the state government. The program is also being broadcast live on social media platforms like YouTube and Facebook. Along with this, a program was also organized at Rajim town by the Ministry of Culture of the central government today morning, where the participants practiced various asanas of yoga. Vikalp Shukla, AIR News, Raipur.
Joining the world in celebrating 7th International Day of Yoga, the Films Division is streaming short film Celebrities Speak, highlighting the message Yoga for Well-being by a number of social influencers. The films will be screened on Films Division website and YouTube channel today. An online lecture and demonstration on immunity through yoga by Sri Ram Yogi Ji, a well-known yoga guru and fitness expert for the employees of Films Division, is another highlight of the celebration. The next phase of India's vaccination drive will begin today, in which Centre will provide free COVID vaccines to everyone above 18 years of age. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had announced on 7th of this month that Centre will buy 75% of the total production of the vaccine producers and provide to the states free of cost. No state government will have to spend anything for vaccines. Mr. Modi had informed in his address to the nation that the system of 25% vaccines being procured directly by the private hospitals will continue. State governments will monitor that only 150 rupees service charge is levied by the private hospitals over the decided price of the vaccines.
21 जून सोमवार से देश के हर राज्य में 18 वर्ष से ऊपर की उम्र के सभी नागरिकों के लिए भारत सरकार राज्यों को मुफ्त वैक्सीन मुहैया कराएगी। वैक्सीन निर्माताओं से कुल वैक्सीन उत्पादन का 75% हिस्सा भारत सरकार खुद ही खरीदकर राज्य सरकारों को मुफ्त देगी। यानी देश की किसी भी राज्य सरकार को वैक्सीन पर कुछ भी खर्च नहीं करना होगा।
More than 29 crore 10 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories through the Centre and the direct state procurement category. Gujarat Home Minister Amit Shah will be on a 2-day visit to his home state Gujarat from today. During his tour, Mr. Shah is scheduled to visit 3 COVID-19 vaccination centres, including one in Ahmedabad. BJP release said that Mr. Shah's visit is aimed at encouraging people to become part of the Gujarat government's mega vaccination drive beginning from today. He will also inaugurate 2 flyovers, a new railway overbridge, as well as a new APMC building at Kalol in Gandhinagar. The Health Ministry has informed that fresh COVID cases remained below the 1 lakh mark in the country for the 13th consecutive day yesterday. The recoveries registered in the country also outnumbered the daily new cases for the 38th consecutive day yesterday.
The National Institute of Virology, Pune, will study the effectiveness of Covaxin on Delta Plus variants of COVID-19. NIV's research head Dr. Pragya Yadav said they have some samples of COVID-19 patients. Delta Plus virus will be segregated from these samples and will be used for research purposes. Samples of those who have recovered will also be used for study. In Uttar Pradesh, more relaxations and COVID restrictions will be implemented from today in state. Malls, restaurants and other shopping complexes will open from today, but strict adherence to the COVID protocol will be a must. More from our Lucknow correspondent.
Now 50 persons can attend the marriage functions and religious programs at a given time in a state with strict adherence to the COVID protocol. As per new order, shopping malls and restaurants will be allowed to operate with 50% capacity on weekdays till 9 p.m. Other standalone shops and market complexes can also remain open for 5 days a week now. Government has made it very clear that COVID help desk and pulse oximeters will be a must at the entry gates of malls, restaurants or any other gathering. Vegetable and fruit markets which are in the congested areas will be shifted to open areas and it will be administration's responsibility to maintain the social distancing there. Government has decided to grant 2 more hours of relaxation in the statewide night curfew that currently remains imposed in all its 75 districts. Now shops in the state can open from 7 a.m. in the morning to 9 p.m. in the evening. Night curfew will now be imposed from 9 p.m. in the evening across the state. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
The relaxations in COVID restrictions in Delhi has been further extended till 5 a.m. of 28th June. Delhi Disaster Management Authority announced further easing of restrictions which were imposed during the second wave of COVID-19. Public parks, gardens, golf clubs and outdoor yoga activities will be allowed from today. As per the guidelines, all markets, market complexes and malls will be open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Restaurants have been allowed up to 50% of the seating capacity from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and bars from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa had announced on Friday relaxations in lockdown norms in 16 districts of the state where COVID positivity rate is below 5%. These relaxations will be effective from today and will remain so till July the 5th. In the remaining 14 districts with over 5% positivity rate, the lockdown norms will continue as before. More details from our correspondent.
Based on the Technical Advisory Committee recommendations, lockdown norms are relaxed in Bengaluru Urban, Yadgiri, Bidar, Kalburgi, Belgavi, Mandya, Koppal, Chikballapur, Kolar, Gadag, Raichur, Bagalkot and Tumkuru. All business establishments will remain open till 5 p.m. in these districts. Buses and metro rail will start operation. Parks will be open from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. Hotels, clubs and restaurants, lodges and resorts can operate with 50% sitting capacity without air conditioning. Outdoor shooting of films and TV serials and outdoor sports without spectators allowed. Shopping malls, swimming pools, places of worship and public events will not be allowed. Night curfew and weekend curfew will continue. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. International Yoga Day being celebrated across the globe today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says yoga has given us hope that we can fight COVID-19. Prime Minister asserts that yoga will continue to play its preventive as well as positive role in healthcare of masses. Next phase of nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive begins today, centred to provide free vaccines to all above 18 years of age. Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Karnataka to further relax COVID-19 restrictions from today. Employees Provident Fund Organization adds around 12.76 lakh net subscribers during April this year. 3 terrorists, including a top Lashkar-e-Taiba commander, killed in an encounter with security forces in Sopore area of Jammu and Kashmir. Iran announces an emergency shutdown of its sole nuclear power plant. India bowled out for 217 in first innings in World Test Championship. New Zealand to resume their innings at the overnight score of 101 for 2 today. And Italy beat Wales 1-0 while Switzerland beat Turkey 3-1 in Euro Cup football. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Centre Centre is disseminating awareness of national helpline numbers for the benefit of citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. The helpline number of the Health and Family Welfare Ministry is 1075. The child helpline number is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 08046110007. Ayush COVID-19 counselling helpline number is 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
Welcome back to the morning news on All India Radio. In Jammu and Kashmir, 3 terrorists, including a top commander of Lashkar-e-Taiba (LET), were killed in an encounter with security forces in Baramulla district last night. The encounter broke out in Gundbrat area of Sopore when Army in Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF launched a joint operation to flush out terrorists. Police said 3 slain terrorists include top LET commander Mudassir Pandit, who was involved in the killing of 3 policemen, 2 councillors and 2 civilians recently. Employees Provident Fund Organisation EPFO has added around 12.76 lakh net subscribers during April this year. Despite the second wave of COVID-19 pandemic, the month registered an increase of 13.73% net subscribers addition as compared to the previous month, during which around 11.22 lakh net subscribers were added to the payroll. The recently published provisional payroll data of EPFO reflects that the number of exits in the month of April 2021 have declined by over 87,000 and rejoining has increased by over 92,000 subscribers as compared to March. Of the 12.76 lakh net subscribers added during April, around 6.89 lakh new members have come into the Social Security coverage of EPFO for the first time. Around 5.86 lakh net subscribers exited and then rejoined by changing their jobs within the establishments covered by the EPFO and choose to retain membership through transfer of funds rather than opting for final settlement.
Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari has said that the sentiment behind an Atmanirbhar Bharat is to increase Indian exports and to find out our option for whatever we are importing. Addressing the Rotary District Conference 2020-21 on Vision India, Mr. Gadkari said the government has set a vision for the country to become a $5 trillion economy in the next 5 years. Iran's sole nuclear power plant has undergone an unexplained temporary emergency shutdown. An official from the state electric company Tavnir said that the Bushehr plant shutdown began on Saturday and will last for 3 to 4 days. Without elaborating, the official said that power outages could result. This is the first time Iran has reported an emergency shutdown of the plant located in the southern port city of Bushehr. It went online in 2011 with help from Russia. In March this year, nuclear official Mahmoud Jafri said the plant could stop working since Iran cannot procure parts and equipment for it from Russia due to banking sanctions imposed by the US in 2018. Bushehr is fueled by uranium produced in Russia and it is monitored by the United Nations International Atomic Energy Agency.
With 33 days to go for Tokyo Olympic Games, All India Radio today will be taking a look at India's recurve men's archer Atanu Das. A report. Born on April 5, 1992, Atanu is currently ranked number 13 in the world rankings. The 29-year-old made his international debut in 2008. Having failed to qualify for the 2012 Olympic selection trials in London by 2 points, Atanu narrowly got knocked out before the quarterfinals in Rio to finally finish 9th. Hailing from Baranagar, Kolkata, Atanu won his first ever World Cup individual gold medal in the Archery World Cup Stage 1 in April this year at Guatemala City. And this was his first international competition since November 2019. His wife, Deepika Kumari, also won an individual gold medal in Guatemala. The star couple will be teaming up together for newly introduced mixed team recurve event in Tokyo, which is something unique in the history of Indian sports. Apart from this, Atanu will be representing India in men's individual recurve and men's team recurve along with Tarundeep Rai and Praveen Jadhav. The archery star couple is well capable to replicate their World Cup Stage 1 form in Tokyo, but the presence of Koran, Chinese Taipei and Chinese archers who were missing at World Cup Stage 1 will make things tough there. Atanu and other Indian archers have a bright chance of winning their first ever Olympic medals in Tokyo, provided they keep their cool and perform consistently under pressure.
In men's cricket, New Zealand were at 101 for 2 against India on the third day of the World Test Championship final at Southampton. Earlier, India were out for 217 in their first innings. The one-off match marks the culmination of a 2-year cycle of the inaugural World Test Championship launched in 2019. In Euro Cup football last night, Italy beat Wales by 1-0 in Group A match. Both the teams have advanced to last 16. Matteo Pessina, first half goal made Italy to finish at the top of the Euro 2020 group. In another fixture, Switzerland defeated Turkey by 3-1. Jardan Shaqiri scored twice to lead Switzerland to a 3-1 win against Turkey in Group A match. Turkey exit the competition after a third straight defeat.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for the day. The national capital Delhi will see a partly cloudy sky with possibility of development of thunder lightning. Jammu will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. Srinagar will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. Leh will also have a generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. While in Muzaffarabad, it will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. As countries unlock and economies reopen, the Tribune quotes the WHO urging nations to implement social measures and scale up vaccination, step up vax drive to thwart next wave. New national vaccine policy to be rolled out today, reports the Hindustan Times. The paper adds, Delhi government plan for walk-in jab for 18-plus group in the works. From political personalities to commoners, Bollywood celebrities to jawans at borders, millions to bend, stretch on Yog Day, writes the Pioneer. As companies are reopening workplaces gradually by calling vaccinated employees for a few days a week, a headline in the Economic Times writes, companies helping staff warm up to office life again. Delimitation, polls, statehood roadmap could be on June 24 table, notes the Indian Express on the Prime Minister's all-party meet on J&K. And finally, empowering women, more companies offer medical cover for egg freezing, reports the Times of India.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. International Yog Day being celebrated across the globe today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Yog has given us hope that we can fight COVID-19. Prime Minister asserts that Yog will continue to play its preventive as well as positive role in healthcare of masses. Next phase of nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive begins today, centered to provide free vaccines to all above 18 years of age. Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and Karnataka to further relax COVID-19 restrictions from today. Employees Provident Fund Organization adds around 12.76 lakh net subscribers during April this year. 3 terrorists, including a top Lashkar-e-Taiba commander, killed in an encounter with security forces in Sopore area of Jammu and Kashmir. Iran announces an emergency shutdown of its sole nuclear power plant. India bowled out for 217 in first innings in World Test Championship. New Zealand to resume their innings at the overnight score of 101 for 2 today. And Italy beat Wales 1-0, while Switzerland defeat Turkey 3-1 in Euro Cup football. On the occasion of International Yoga Day, we end the bulletin with this enchanting music.
सूर्य तुझे नमस्ते, धरती तुझे नमन, शुक्रिया वायु तेरा, धन्यवाद गगन, कोश कोश का अभिनंदन, श्वास श्वास में हो चंदन, विश्व एक परिवार